Alright. Yeah, no, I did get confused for a second there as well, Zidian. When I walked up, I was like, how did I see the zombie? But then it's like I saw the window half a second later, like, oh, okay, okay, I just saw the zombie through the window. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Full of fishes salad? I mean, the game says it is, so it has to be true, right? It's like being on the internet. Everything's true on the internet, including the stuff that contradicts itself. Like, especially the stuff that contradicts itself. Like, when stuff says, like, this dress is blue, then other things say, like, this dress is black, the answer is yes. It is both at the same time. Integer Smirk says, I definitely think an herbalist would know Wild Forge area to nausea from zombie corpses. An herbalist would know a wild forged answer to nausea. Oh. It depends. Like, I could certainly see an herbalist having stuff that's like fever, not fever suppressors, but like stuff that works okay for keeping fever down. Like, actually, like, fully preventing fever, I think is a different thing. It's like, I can see with herbal medicine stuff that you can, you know, treat the sniffles from a flu, or, you know, the cough, or maybe mild fever. But I don't think you'd have something that, like, I don't think you take, like, a fistful of garlic and you treat, you know, you treat influenza. Let's see. Diane Brainsim said, just died of my 4-month character. I gotta blame this one on Raw because it's always gotta be someone else's fault. I mean, fair. So, how did it happen, Diane Brainstem? Let's put it this way. How did it happen, and what was the lesson that you learned? Because, like, if you didn't have fun, or you didn't learn something from a death, then those are actually the bad deaths. Now, if you learned something from your death, okay, then that's just a hard lesson. Now, if you had fun with your death, like you're being reckless and you're like, I don't care if we die, also, you know, not a bad death. Because there's certainly been times it's like, alright, I got this katana, I know we're being reckless, but it's game on. Integer Smirk saying, nah, I mean like the travel equivalent of travel sickness pills, something that would stop retching at the stench. I take it that there's more involved than it's just stinky. Like, I take it as there's like lots of awful here, that real life, being around these kind of corpses, you would get sick and probably like deathly ill kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, you think about these, it's the zombie plague. You're literally standing around plague corpses. So you know. Burn says, it happened due to turning into a zombie, and I learned not to get turned into a zombie. Fair. Okay, well maybe I should keep cars repaired from now on. I have a feeling where this is going, and I have a feeling I've done the exact same sort of thing that led to this death. I've had everything from cars breaking down in the middle of hordes to blowing out tires at very inconvenient moments around zombies. Mr. Spydaz says, my last character died from using a spear. That animation. Yeah, like I said, I've never died the animation, but I have stood there, like, where you're watching the zombie get ready to start grab, and you're just staring, holding the other direction, going, please, please let me go. Integer Smirk says, alright, good luck for the rest of your stream, Raw. Off to fire service. Well, I hope with fire service that your night is as boring and uneventful as humanly possible. Because that is exactly how you want a day to be working fire service. Then he goes, my last character died because I'm a dumbass and I learned nothing. It's training doing breathing apparatus. Ah, okay, that's not bad. I can't kill anyone is asking, what are we doing in Riverside again? So we try and make it a point every once in a while to spin back to the places we've cleared, because zombies will migrate back into these places. And so that's all I'm doing is just going through, checking for who's decided that the newly vacant space is an opportunity. So we're just doing a quick pass. We're not going to hang out here long. Just one quick walkthrough. I mean, drive through, really. I'm just doing this one road because there's two roads and I don't want to go them both. We're doing a quick pass, killing any zombies we see. To keep this place nice and quiet. Because it's been something like 5 in-game months since we've done so. So we want to make sure it stays cleared. And to be fair, we've probably killed at least 100 zombies in here. I mean, not all at once. It's been little packs of like 10 and 12, but like we killed a like good 5 or 6 over here. There's 2 or 3 up there. Dime Brain said, my car stalled and my window is already almost broken. I got munched in the middle of West Point. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking it was. Is you get a car that's all beat up, so it keeps like stalling and, you know, it takes 2 or 3 starts to get it going again. Yeah, and they'll work their way back out, that's fine. Most of these zombies will be ones that have migrated in from other places. There'll be some that, you know, was a zombie in a bathroom or a back closet or whatever, and that they've heard us rolling around a bunch of times. And so that's why they've come out. Yeah, so this is the part of town I thought was going to be the worst. Diane Brainson said, well, Zidane, you did learn that you're a dumbass. I mean, fair. I can't kill anyone says, how many days of being unable to find a zombie would you consider the challenge cleared? So I don't expect to actually get to a point where I cannot find a zombie for the challenge to be cleared. Like I said, it'd be kind of one of those things that we go through all the major cities, and when we show up, we see only like 2 or 3 zombies or whatever. At that point, I basically say, okay, challenge is done. Like, we're not finding zombies, so whatever. That said, we might actually sit there and like try and kill as many zombies until we like can't find any. Like that'd be curious for me, but that'd be also at the point that we might be ready for the next challenge. I did see the zombies back there. I am deliberately pulling up here a little bit more. Oh, there's no one over here. Like I said, when I go to leave, I'm going to grab a car. It doesn't matter what kind of car or whatever. Just grab whatever we see. We'll just make that a habit when we're returning from places for these kinds of trips, that I'll always have a car with us. And is there a spare car? Ooh, that reminds me. One thing I do real fast. Your battery's still good? I saw you. Have I seen cheeses bugged death? Oh, come on, zombies. What happened for the bug death? Like, when was it? And I pulled the battery from the spare car. That way, as winter goes around and the battery drains, it won't be. It was his last death, I think. Like, well, again, like, what happened? Like, what was the bug? Like, did something not load? I may have already heard of what happened and seen, like, a clip, but I I don't know. Oh, there's a crawler. His car stopped working on the road. Oh! Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah, yeah, Baron. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That was like he went from I wasn't quite full car to just it went to 0 and then the car wouldn't run anymore. Right, nothing this way. Yeah, because remember he reached out to the Indie Stone dev team or whatever, and one of the devs was just like please send us information because we don't know, that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, I did they have like a bug tracker thing on their Steam discussion board thing. Like I mean I do see that they have like official accounts they respond on there. That seems like it's reasonable enough. So I did post yesterday we had what I think like was getting people hurt. I did not get hurt, but we went to execution animation a zombie and then just we ended up pushing the zombie off us instead of actually completing the execution animation. Like the zombie just said, "You know what? I don't feel like listening to your rules." Give me a moment, zombie. Let's see. It looks like it hit a small bump and it killed the gas tank. Like, like just somehow he was driving along. He had his gas tank just got destroyed instantly. Because I had my gas tank damaged, but it'd be weird for the gas tank just outright disappear. But who knows? Demon Sight says, completely random thought. Why can't I light a cigarette off of a stove burner? Well, I mean they're all electric. Nah, I don't know. But give me one moment. I'm gonna do those push-ups and I'll be right back. Yeah, no, I remember talking to him. I think it was in his stream he was talking about that we discussed at one time. Like I don't remember the exact details other than just like even the Indie Stone devs kind of looked at one and was just like, okay, I don't know what happened. Yeah, Udream says, yeah, but you can still use the source of heat to ignite something. I've lit stuff off electric stove burner before. Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend they're like all glass top stoves. Like you could, but it's kind of tricky. Even though that's completely unrealistic entirely for 1993. Yeah, all induction burners. Look, you may not realize this, but Kentucky in 1993 was like bustling with high tech. It doesn't look like it, but when you go into these houses and you're looking at these ovens that looks like this old, decrepit like oven from the 50s, it's like some serious tech going on here. You know, I think we might just sleep in the car. Ah, no we won't. I just need to get back in a house to sleep so we can be out here when it's bright enough to actually see, because I'm just going to miss all the zombies because I drive right past them. Well, I can't see in that house. Screw that house. Rhetorical answer goes, oh my god, I missed 3k kills. Raul's a true monster. I mean, and you take consideration as well, we're not going fast them up because we went and... place. We went back to Riverside and all that to go, yep. Let's clear up. Yeah, it's like secret Silicon Valley. Like, they've got the tech, but they make it look like old tech. It's an aesthetic choice. So, like, they're actually, like, super duper up to date. It's just, they just really like that, you know, 50s, like, race car fridge and, you know, very utilitarian looking stoves that, no frills, looks like the budget ones you'd get at, like, Sears back in the day. I'm not driving down this crappy road. I'm not even dealing with it. It's fine. Right, I saw there's zombies there. We'll pull up here where I can see I'm actually climbing out and not into zombies. Hey. Hey, you way up there. Stop. Stop walking away. And like those antique wood stoves, they're actually just like electric. They're totally renewable power. It's just you put the wood in there to make them look. Rhetorical answer says, Raul, I need to go to bed. I mean, you can actualize your dreams. Oh yeah, that's why you can wirelessly transfer water. And then on top of that, that's why like every pipe is just built-in filtration. I mean, you've never heard of lead poisoning in 1993. Actually, I have no idea. It's probably, realistically, it's probably pretty appalling what the plumbing was in 1993 in any rural place. Hell, even urban places is probably really appalling. I only drink my water over Bluetooth. Yeah. Artie was going, wood panels are the height of fashion. Raw, I need to go to bed. Also, Raw, time for more murder. I mean, I went to sleep. I had a whole night's sleep and then came back and then started streaming all that. Let's see. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing I think is like actually like any place who hasn't had a major plumbing overhaul since like the 30s to the 70s, you probably don't want to see the plumbing situation. Well, probably the 30s to the 50s. I should be careful. Like almost all of them, I'm sure we don't even want to know what the plumbing situation is. It's one thing that has worked pretty well for us down here in Florida is just so much of our plumbing is PVC. It's plastic. We just use concrete and plastic. I can't remember. There was some reason why we didn't use much in the way of metal piping down here. Like, I don't remember if it was a humidity thing or not having a particularly low water table. There was like some reason that, like, it wasn't some, you know, we made these informed decisions kind of thing. It was more just the way it worked out was some of the materials that ended up being dangerous were like poor choices for our plumbing situation. I can't remember what it was. I know I looked it up once. Yeah, but down here we use plastic for almost all of our stuff. Presumably, all piping has built-in filtration due to government initiative in response to local fresh water being liquid poison. I mean, I've certainly seen some pretty atrocious water situations. I mean, I will say, not necessarily all plumbing, but pretty much any water system you look at is going to have a hell of a lot of filtration attached to it if it's any type of water system that's doing more than, like... I mean, hell, even the water systems that just you have, like, a stupid little fountain in a pond that don't connect up to anything, you'll usually have a lot of filtration involved. Because otherwise just the crap it sucks in from being lake water will end up getting into the bits and baubles of the motor and wreck it. I mean, you can imagine a motor trying to run on pond scum. Or silt. Demon Size, getting better, died at 23 days, too far from home, exhausted, surrounded, and bitten, and decided to stay and fight once I saw the bite. Yep. That's one of the ways, like, usually when we go and we're infected, like, we either get a scratch, and then we see the anxiety and nausea show up, and we're like, alright, I see it. Yep, Retorganizer says, if you're gonna go out swinging. Yeah, that used to be a lot of times, like, before I felt more comfortable using guns, that was my learn guns time, was, oh, I see the sad moodle. Grab her shotgun, boys and girls. It's time to cause some trouble. Excuse me, zombie, I just want the spear, you'll understand. I mean, actually, I don't really want the spear, but I should take the spear. Yep, that's another thing to do. I've certainly also had it where we took a death and I'm like, alright, well I got this super fast sports car. Oh wow, these bots are really working today. And unlike the other ones, that's one I actually can't really like there isn't a word I can safely add to add mod, because the URL is supposedly just viewers. You know, I haven't tried. I think it's like word based, not not like specific words. I could check. So far as what I can try it next time, because I remember the exact URL and it's fine. Like, if it comes back, we'll deal with it. If that's the only time we ever see it, whatever. Alright, Dying Brainstem, you have yourself a good sleep. And our fish is starting to get old. It's not quite gone bad yet, but we're just not getting the same mileage out of it we used to. Got a zombie up here. Alright, from this street I think I'm gonna turn north. No, I lied. I'm gonna go south. There isn't a good way to go through here where we don't have to backtrack at some point. I did figure Riverside is gonna take a day or two to get through. Rhetorical question says, of course you're not going to get good mileage out of it. Fish are terrible on land. I mean, you're right. Yeah, so I'll go this way, and I'll turn up, come back this way, go up, do that. Alright. I'll go to the ritzy neighborhood on the far east. The ritzy neighborhood on the far east is where I expect to see a bunch of zombies as well. This actually might have some zombies down here, because it's the far southern edge of town. Basically, the places I'm expecting to see the most zombies are the areas near the outskirts of town. Because that'd be where the zombies that, you know, were hanging out in the woods and the trees and the fields and all that would have wandered into town over time. Aaron says, okay, I had a weird dream where I was watching your stream. Ellen died, so I woke up thinking, damn, that was a good run. I was thinking that happened and realized, and then I realized your last VOD, it was only in dream. I've had weird dreams about like playthroughs getting messed up and stuff happening, and like that's happened to me as well. Not the point that like mentally I'm like, oh no, it ended. It's like, you know, you kind of go into their brain, you're like, wait, this information directly conflicts my knowledge. Something is not right here. Oh yeah, the police car is like, I'm gonna use this police car. I'm gonna do the sirens thing. And the police car is like, I have a dead battery. I'm like, oh. I'm not gonna do the sirens thing. Alright, so we got this little area here. That's the, walk, like, path to the school or whatever. Yep, and that's the ritzy area. So, like, all I have to do is, like, do this little zigzag to the middle of town, and then that ritz area might have some zombies. TTN Blue says, I've tried to watch the past stream or two, and every time it gets to an ad, the stream starts over from the beginning. Any suggestions? No, that's the first time I've heard of that. I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, I don't experience the ads on my own stream because when you are the streamer, you're effectively like the highest tier subscribed to your own stream, regardless. So I've not had that. If anyone's heard of that happening with anyone's channel, like that could be wonderful information to help someone out with. Alright, so we got some zombies that are trapped in backyards and everything that we didn't kill last time, it looks like. Maybe they'll figure out their way around. Of course, like the Snarky side, like, I mean, it could be like, well, if you're a subscriber, you won't get ads. No, it's, don't take it that way. Like, I don't know how to deal with it. I wish I did. Maybe it's a deliberate ploy by Twitch to be like, oh, we're just going to make it so everyone has to keep skipping all over. A Baron says, you've never seen an ad in my stream. I mean, if you're using some type of ad block or something like that, that can cause that. Like, I don't do the thing where I manually trigger ads. Twitch automatically does it. But I do understand, like, what ads you get hit with, how often, like, that can actually be impacted regionally. Like, there's all sorts of stuff I have no idea about or any say in. Like, that is one of the things that's a little annoying. It's like, whenever we start talking about, like, how certain things, like, impact your stream, like, how it's doing, like, not necessarily going into, like, deep financials, but, like, the general financials of streaming a lot. Like, ad revenue is a thing that's meaningful for it. But it's something I, as the streamer, get zero control over. Twitch basically gives me two options. Two options I get are, one is Twitch will just randomly jump in and play an ad, and that's what's going to happen. Or I have to manually trigger enough ads per hour kind of thing, or there's like some formula behind it. I have to trigger enough ads that then it won't require the automatic jump-ins. The thing is, I have to like manually do it and periodically through the stream, which I've never manually triggered an ad on my stream. I've debated. There's been times where people talk. It's like, oh, if you're gonna take like a 5-minute break, like make it an ad break. Like, okay, but like it won't be enough to not have ads in the rest of the stream. Like, I don't believe I can, like, front-load all the ads or something, or back-load all the ads and it works. Like, you have to do it throughout the stream. I don't know. I know if you force ads and you force enough of them, then you just don't have auto ads. But, I don't know if it's, like... Say I got 90% of the way of what I was going to be whatever. Yeah, no, I get that, TNT Blues. It's like it starts the VOD over, then trying to get, you know, back to where you were. But yeah, that'll probably be something you'll have to harass Twitch about. It could also be, and this is something that I actually do myself, is if you have any applications that do stuff like limit or disable trackers and JavaScript, a lot of that sounds like the type of symptom you could have with something like that. And I 100% use those kind of tools myself, but there are just websites that have to be like, alright, like this website I have to disable it. Yeah, like I'd definitely say if you have anything that's like the privacy kind of stuff that disables JavaScript, prevents cookies, privacy browsing or whatever. So like if you're using, for example, the Brave browser, or you've got plugins or anything like that, those would be my first place to check that maybe one of those is being a little overzealous, or maybe even just Twitch to try and prevent you from using those kind of tools. Maybe they have a thing that just won't remember your place without, well, those are engaged. Like, I don't know. Like, admittedly, I don't tune into the VODs very often for many streams. Like, it's not that I've never watched VODs on Twitch. Usually I watch people live. But the only VODs I usually tune into is, there's been specific games that when a person is playing for the first time, I'm like, oh, I want to see this person play. Like, if someone's, like, first time playing, like, Undertale, or the first time playing, like, Doki Doki Literature Club, or one of those games that's like really just kind of big movement kind of game, whatever. When I say big movement, like it challenges you in a lot of ways. Like emotionally, mentally, that kind of thing. Those are games I'm like, no, I genuinely want to like see the person play it. Like that's when I'm actually committed to seeing the playthrough. Door's locked. Versus like if I'm watching someone play Path, like, and that's the thing. It's also what games I watch people play. I watch people play. Well, not lately, but I've watched people play Path of Exile a lot. I watched Ziggy play a whole bunch of different games. I watched people play like. Let's see, what else have I had? What play? You know, Project Zomboid. A lot of those I don't personally need to see like every little detail of the stream for myself, and that's everyone has their own viewing habits. However you are entertained, cool. Keep doing it. If it's not hurting anyone, doesn't matter. Keep at it. And then plus a big thing is like for me viewing on Twitch, like Project Zomboid, I didn't get huge into catching like other people's Project Zomboid streams and all that until I was streaming Project Zomboid as well, which doesn't afford me the time to tune into most people's streams and keep up in any meaningful capacity. So I do have to kind of like dip my toe in, watch for a while, you know, hop out, that kind of thing. What do I think of ad blockers? I don't know if Twitch has any rules for, against, or whatever with ad blockers, the promotion, or the use of ad blockers, because that sounds like something they would complain about. I will say I have used ad blockers. I will also say I do have hooked up on my setup, I have what's known as a Pi hole, which is a Raspberry Pi, which is a programmable circuit board that prevents a lot of stuff from showing up. So, like, it's the challenge. So, one, you want places to actually be able to monetize and all that. They're providing you a service. You want to be able to make sure they're at least financially sound in providing that service. Otherwise, that service goes away. Jump scare. So like I'm definitely of the mindset of I think it's actually one of the mistakes we've made in how we've set up the internet is that almost everything is free with ads. And that's actually, it's not even an internet service. Like just in general, almost everything is free with ads. And I think that is a mistake because now it just means ads are everywhere.